Hello YouTube, Marielle here. Um, Today I would like to talk about something that I've been um, obviously thinking about for a little bit now, and obviously something that I've witnessed over the years of being with my wolf. And that thing is how protective people always act around my wolf. And this has been consistent and since we've been together. I mean, it just didn't matter who who was around him, and most people around him are males, and they always acted very, very protective around him. And it fascinated me at the very beginning. Um, and also, when we first started to go out together, and those people would take on those roles of of being acting like they were suspicious of me and everything. I kind of thought it was cool. I thought it was all right, and usually that's what friends do, right? When a friend actually introduces a potential new partner, everybody else usually kind of gather around and try to suss out that new person that's coming into the group. So I never really thought much about it. But as obviously as life went on and as our relationship progressed and as we met other people and as I was introduced into other people, that theme was always reoccurring of people acting very protective of him. Yeah, and that is somebody that is like 6 foot 2. Uh, he has quite a presence, a physical. He has a physical presence, and yet everybody always felt the need to to protect him. It's just so strange. And the thing is, now I realize that even myself eventually had to come that role too. I mean, I became extremely protective of him too. I did exactly the same. And when I try to analyze why I actually felt that that very same need to protect a fully grown man who's physically more powerful than me, who's smarter than me, who doesn't really need me in any way, shape, or form. When I try to think about why I felt that deep within me, that need to look out for him, this is what I came up with. That it's possible that those feelings were triggered. They were triggered by the fact that he always let me make all the decisions. He always deferred to me, and and when he didn't, the decision that he made were always strange. They were inadequate. They were immature, and sometimes they were downright stupid. So I think that could be one of the reasons, and you have to understand as well that this is somebody. I'm married to somebody who never clearly states his opinion. Never. He keeps his thoughts to himself. He doesn't share much, which made me always talk more, say more, divulge more, because he always kept quiet. And I think all of those tiny little things put together gave me tricked my mind. I would say tricked my mind into thinking this is somebody that needs help. You love them, you trust them, so you know you just want to protect him. You just want to make sure he's okay, when actually that's not the case at all. And now I know that this was a tactic to lure me, because you have to understand that now I am aware that this this letting me take control and be in the front and make decisions was clearly a tactic to lure me into feeling in control, so I would let down my guards so he could better manipulate me. Now I know that. Back then I didn't know. But what I'm actually kind of trying to kind of connect the dot is, I am wondering whether by default this manipulation tactic also triggers in people like me the need to protect him, because he always plays the role of the passive one, the immature one, the innocent one, and he's very good at playing the victim, despite his stature. And he always has a way physically to position himself in such a way that not only is he self-effaced, but it's not quite a poor me, pity me, because there's no situation that goes along with that behavior. There's no situation. I mean, it's not in a situation of being being accused or doing things, or there's never been anything like that. But somehow he has that aura, that demeanor of, almost like the little guy, despite his height, despite his presence. It's just so, there's such a conflict there that once you actually sit down and you think about it, just does not add up. But somehow he pulls that out of you. Somehow everything he does just pushes you into that direction, and you just can't evade it. And the thing is now is that even my children have been drawn into that protective mode of being his bodyguards. I mean, they are totally protective of him, even though there is no fire. Even though there is nothing to protect him about, but they act, especially my daughter, oh my God. I mean, even his belongings, even these things. And again, somebody who's not in the know, somebody who doesn't understand the situation will probably think, well, what's wrong with that? That's kind of normal. But not for that guy. Not with my wolf. That's not normal. It's over the top. It's unnecessary. It's unnatural almost. This is somebody who's not being the word, I can't think of the word, is not in danger. This is not somebody who's being attacked in any way, shape or form by no one, and especially not me. And yet that is the predominant atmosphere of feeling that he creates wherever he goes. I mean, I've seen, trust me when I say I've seen people, grown men, I mean, we're talking about his colleagues, his childhood friends, to his employees, anyone coming across his path, even his bosses. I mean, those are people that are, his seniors twice over. They act like they adore him. They act like he's the best thing ever. Like he, the sun is just coming out of every single one of his pores. and that's one of the things when I first met him, when we first got together, and our life started. I used to think that is a good sign. I used to think that that was an indication of his good nature, of the good person he is inside. For everybody to flock around him like this had to be a very, very, very good sign. I mean, you don't have to look any further. I mean, you know, the understanding usually is when you meet somebody and people don't like them, people feel weird when they come across them. People always have something negative to say about those people. I mean, you have to be crazy to go and befriend them, and you have to be crazy to go and start a relationship with them. You have to be something obviously not right with you to think that that's okay. And because you can see beyond, you can see something that nobody else can see. I mean, to me, that would be crazy. But somebody like my wolf, everybody flocks around him, everybody adores him, everybody thinks that he's great, everybody thinks that, you know, is brilliant, and he doesn't even have to convince people, he doesn't have to say much, he doesn't have to do much. I truly thought that was a positive sign. I truly thought that shows that the good person that he is inside, it's obviously shining on the outside. And he must be blessed by the gods. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But trust me that now I'm thinking differently, because I've also witnessed the flip side of that adoration, in the fact that I have been at the end of those very same people, of him manipulating. He uses those very same people to turn against me and attack me completely unprovoked, with absolutely no provocation whatsoever. And one thing that I know Dana Star actually, Dana, I think her channel is Dana Thrive After Abuse. And one of the things that she actually says about some narcs is that most of them, they don't have friends, they don't have family members. What they have is actually adoring fans. What they have is a harem. What they have is, you know, those people that can be used as a protective inner circle kind of thing, that they manipulate to do their biddings, you know, or to transform them into flying monkeys. And now I totally believe that. I totally believe it now. This is what's been happening. And then I guess for most of us, you know, for everybody really, it's extremely confusing, because it means that how do you make the difference between good people and bad people? The lines are now so blurred, it's so confusing. It's a case of how can you make the difference? I mean, I used to think that, how do you make the difference?